Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast. We got a few things to talk about today, namely Matt Riddle had quite the travel nightmare this week. We're gonna have a little conversation about that. Tom said something about wanting to talk about Jordan Grace. I'm gonna let him do that. I didn't really get a chance to look at what he was wanting to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and take gloves off on that. Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler are talking about a new venture. And an indie star begs for his job with WWE back. Should be an interesting time here. So Derek's late, no fucking surprise, but it is what it is.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, bud?
We the ones, Walt.
We the ones.
We the ones.
Which means Derek is a number 2.
We the
He
ones.
said he's going number 1 right now. That's why he can't be on time, Despite the fact that whenever I was getting ready to come down to the studio, I almost shat myself. I still managed to be here at 8:32 to start the show at 8:33. But yet we didn't start until 8:37, waiting for the little deuce.
The Lil Deuce. I like it, actually.
Derek Duso.
I like that, actually. He's the Lil Deuce. He's feeling deucey.
He's feeling real deucey.
Feeling deucey. I like it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
See, if he'd have been here waiting with me, I would not let you pick on him today. But unfortunately for him, he was not. And therefore,
hey, man, for those of you that may have been living under the rock for the last 22 years, today is the anniversary of the horrific September 11th attacks that occurred in 2001. And, you can't help but kind of just take a couple of minutes today and just really think about how things have changed and where we're at, based solely off of what a terrible, terrible day. And I'm sure that, wrestling fans and wrestling fam alike, thoughts and prayers, T's and P's to Zelina Vega, whose father was killed in the September 11th attacks. So Tom, kind of crazy to think about, right? Like,
it is.
Sophomores in high school.
We were. I remember watching it I remember seeing the second plane hit while I was in driver's ed, of all places, because we didn't do anything in driver's ed most of the time. We just watched TV. It was first period, and they were like, "Oh, let's put on channel 1. That'll take up 30 minutes of this 90-minute block scheduling that we had back in the early 2000s." And we flipped it on, and hey, the plane hit the what's going on? Huh? Things happen this early in the morning. Things happen in first period. Anyway, it was kind of terrible. The rest of the day was sort of up in the air. Like, what do we do? Are we going home? Are we going to class? I stuck around. I went to class. We didn't do anything, but
just watch TV all day. That's what we did, and
pretty much we had the same experience.
That's what we did. That's what we did. On the other side of that county line, pal.
I mean, yeah, we were 10 minutes apart at that point in time, in distance wise.
Yeah.
It was. I think I still had soccer practice that afternoon after class.
Probably. I know that.
Peppy wouldn't have canceled. Your Uncle Joe wouldn't have canceled that stuff. He'd He'd have had to be hit by that plane himself, and even then, he'd have had Schrader do it. But it was quite the day. Wrestling related, if you remember, the first big event back was the following week, Monday Night Raw. That was like the first regularly scheduled.
I think it was a SmackDown.
No, I don't think it was SmackDown. I think they had canceled SmackDown for that week, and then it was Monday Night Raw the following.
I don't know, but it was regardless. It was an interesting little show, that the WWE superstars put on for us youngins to kind of enjoy and take our mind off of what had happened was.
What Stephanie McMahon's little speech did not age well, but everything else was a good show. It was the only show.
It was the only show. Everything got canceled. And that, my friends, is why the Super Bowl now played at the beginning of February instead of the end of January. So
that, and they had games scheduled, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, So, did you see about this indie star that is on the internet begging for Vince McMahon to give him his job back?
No, Walter, tell me more.
So, there's this guy that has been released from WWE now for, I don't know, maybe going on 5 years. And, he's managed to go out and, despite being an undercard guy at WWE and never quite getting that main event push, was able to go to the indies and really create a great persona for himself.
What persona would that be?
I'm clearly talking about the indie god.
Him?
The king of the death match.
Oh, him? The king of the death match?
The sensation of all internet sensations, one Matthew Cardona.
And now he's begging Vince for a job. Vince doesn't live on the internet. Does he not know that? He'd have to write him a letter. In cursive.
I think he gets text messages, pal.
Does he? Does he though? Does he get them, or does his secretary get them?
I bet you he gets them from his secretary.
I'm not exactly laughing at that. I'm also laughing at the private chat here.
Oh, the private chat that I didn't read?
Yeah, read that.
Oh, I see you smiling down there, pal. So you can clearly hear us. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and Tom. Yeah. You know what, pal? I may just let you sit there for the entirety of this show.
No, let him in. Let him in. Come on. Look.
Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the show. Derek Ducey.
Why have I been downgraded to a friend of the show? Move me in my spot.
Derek, you feeling Ducey today?
I'm feeling Oozy.
Ducey. You feeling Ducey?
You feeling Ducey?
Guys, I'm sorry that I actually decided to show up today and bring the broadcast down to an A- rather than the A team. But I am here. I know all of our wonderful fan base was waiting on my truly magnificent arrival.
Look at how nice his beard looks all grown in. Look at that. Do you see that?
I know,
like a proper adult here. Look at him. Look at this
proper adult.
Look at this proper adult here. I'm stunned at how he looks like a proper adult. I don't know that I've ever seen such a proper adult in this square over here.
It's different, every once in a while I kind of need a what's that, like a horsey that I can come in on as a chair?
No, I was going with a makeover. You need a
No.
You need what was that movie when we were She's All That? Is that the one? That's what we
yeah.
Derek, it needs to be He's All That.
Can I be all that? Yeah.
I mean, probably not. With literally, she just took her glasses off in that movie, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, she's actually hot!" And it was like, "Wait, what?"
I just waited like 8 months and didn't shave, and then like, "Oh my god, he's actually like has a beard."
To grow a beard like that?
Oh, brother!
I bet you that motherfucker's still patchy as shit.
This, fuck you. Maybe.
He needs some beard oil that like helps it grow.
I'm not convinced to spend my money on that.
No, I mean,
how much is beard oil? Like less than $10? I'm not going to convince.
It's oily. It's oily. I don't want to feel oily.
Why would you not want to,
feel oily?
Adults.
Yeah. Don't trust the adults.
I mean,
forget. Yeah, don't trust.
There might be issues as far as me going through a TSA and getting accused of rape. I don't know. Like there's options that I'd rather avoid.
Hey, look, I'm just gonna say it, and this is gonna get me canceled. But 9/11 is the reason that Matt Riddle got raped at the airport last week.
Why do we have to do this?
Why? Well, it's because we lost the war on terror, boys. We lost the war on terror. I'm here to tell you 22 years later that we lost that war on terror. I watched the whole thing. We lost.
Yep. Was there. Watched it.
We watched the whole. I watched the whole thing. We lost that motherfucker.
What you talking about? We got Osama bin Laden.
12 years later.
We did do that.
12 years later.
We swooped in with the Black Hawk helicopters. Fucking night vision goggles. Fucking good. Just fucking coming from the ropes, out of the helicopters, through the windows, just
kicked that door in, shot him and his wives and his children, blah, 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 blah. Wrapped them in sacks and threw them in the water. Yeah, that's exactly what we did, and we still lost the war on terror. You know why? Because I still have to take my shoes off at the airport. You know what that means? That means we're still in terror. We lost, people. We lost.
No, they're just trying to keep you safe, pal.
Yeah, okay. Great.
I'm not sure at what point the shoe.
You know what? It's not my life's not worth it. Don't make me take my shoes off. If I die because I left my shoes on, it was my time. I'm done.
I mean, like you can always just travel smart, pal. Like I always wear slides and socks, man. Like
Tom's got them.
Buddy,
Patrol 9s.
I wear my trying to bring on Vans. I'm not here to be like.
Nah, well, it's your fault though.
It's not my fault.
That's what it is.
Vans. I can put the slip-on Vans on and off like that. Like,
well, you're bringing the special edition kitty special onto the plane. What are you thinking? You just don't get to bring any Vans into the plane. Like, oh yeah, these are fine. They don't have any bombs. No. Oh, I want to see fucking LOL dolls on that shit. What do your socks look like? Let me see them. I want to see your toesies. Which little piggy went to market on you, motherfucker?
That's the most dad sock.
You mean my black?
That one's just a utility sock. That is
my black Adidas socks are not.
It is only for business purposes.
You do not approve of my black Adidas socks.
It's the most dad sock ever.
They're pretty dad socks. I gotta protect my delicious ankle meat.
Delicious ankle meat. Shirt now available.
I do need a shirt that says delicious ankle meat. That's actually a thing I say relatively often. So.
Oh my goodness gracious. So Derek, before you so rudely decided to show up late, we were talking about Matt Cardona and the fact that he was just recently seen on the old interwebs begging Vince McMahon for his job back. What do you think about Mr. Woo 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 going back to the WWE?
I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's good for him. But to me, that's pointless. And as a fan, I would think that the majority of us think that's pointless. We've all seen what he's going to become in that specific company. Obviously, we've seen what he can become in the Indies. He's kind of a Cody Rhodes light type of story going on where, oh, man, I used to be somebody. And now I want to be a contender, but I can't, baby. So I came over here into the indies.
I like Derek's take on this. Actually, I'm a fan of this.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
I'm a fan of it.
Hey man, you asked. I know it's not the most positive thing I could bring to the table tonight, but
I like his take. I'm a fan. Go ahead, Walt. Attack Derek on what he just said. What did Derek say that makes you upset about it? Because I'm ready to listen. I'm all ears. I'm like some fucking corn over here. I'm a field of corn.
Field of corn.
I'm all ears, buddy. I'm all ears.
So should I call you Jonathan Davis then?
No, he doesn't deserve that yet.
So let me get this straight. You just compared Matt Cardona to Cody Rhodes using Dusty Rhodes' voice.
I did. And
he blew clouds while he was doing it. Jesus Christ.
Is there dead air? Is that what we're gonna do?
There wasn't dead air. You made a cloud. It's cloudy air.
I'm a little taken back by your take here, pal. I mean, I wasn't prepared for such an atrocious fucking wrestling take. I mean,
wow.
Wow. You weren't prepared for him to shit all over the indie god?
Like, I mean, fucking Matt Cardona, pal. I mean, he's the deathmatch king. I mean, he went in and he beat Nick Gage at his own game.
The king.
Yeah, and he wore white while he did it. Did you really think that if he was wearing black, he was going to lose? I mean, it's very obvious whenever we look at this shit. It's very stupid to think that, well, he's coming for the belt about Nick Gage, and he's wearing all white. I wonder what's going to happen. It's a fucking indie show. I didn't pay to see a bloodbath, which I know in turn I'm going to receive. But if you come out here in all white, what do you want me to expect? It's stupid. No, you don't get to come out here, make your fucking name on us, and act like you're some indie god. Yeah, that's my people's. This is my people. Because neither of you respect it. Maybe Tom, but I'm not going to give it to you, Walter. Anyway,
number of indie shows Walter has attended versus number of indie shows Thomas has attended. It's a quite lopsided number for you to be giving.
It is true. All right. You've attended like 3 to Tom's 0, so I will give you that. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to get across here is
3 that you know of.
Oh, you didn't get anything else.
No, are you
you
sure
only go with me.
Hey, I mean, that would be okay if you ever answered your phone or returned phone calls or text messages. Like I had to call your parents.
I've been going through a moment
to get you.
I have been going through a moment of spectacular issue.
Okay, well,
you know what?
At the ripe age of 36, I should not be going through. On Wednesday,
this is an extreme version of fuck around and find out, aka get your fucking shit together. All right, Bob.
Do you realize that I've been to prison? Do you realize that? I will.
This guy.
When does the Dirty Derek gimmick get to take hold? Is that next week? Monday? All right. Okay. Dirty Derek Monday. I'm ready for that. You better have that tear drawn on your eye, like.
You're not even going to see my face. I'm going to do the whole show backwards.
He's going to look like a SoundCloud rapper next week with the Chipotle bag fucking tattoos all over his face.
Just wear the Chipotle bag. Just
let me see your grill. Let me see your what? I'm gonna be Nelly up in this motherfucker. I'm gonna have a Band-Aid.
Get a Chipotle bag, draw a grill on it. Put it on your head. Do the whole show that way. I'll even buy you the burrito.
I would be down for that.
Remind me on Monday. I'll even buy you the burrito.
I expect a DoorDash burrito from Tom.
Remind me on
DoorDash. Hey, Bub, DoorDash doesn't come to your front door.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm gonna order.
And if they did, it would cost Tom $649.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go pick it up. It'll be ready. I'll pay for it. I'll buy it on the app. I'll have it be ready. I'll tell you what time. You're going to have to go pick it up.
Do we even have a Chipotle? I don't even know.
There's one in Morgantown for sure.
Is there? All right.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Does it taste good?
There's at least 2 in Morgantown.
Oh, Jesus. What are the Jets doing?
The Jets, they're fucking being shit because they're the Jets. That's what they do.
Well, they just got a huge run.
Look, man, it can't be as bad as what the Steelers did. The Steelers looked like they'd never played.
Oh, good God.
Yet. Like,
that's my dad's fault. Yeah, that's
your dad is the reason the Steelers can't play football?
Yeah, as Walt sits here and sings the praises of my parental family, I would like to bring forth another aspect of
I want to point out that we're 20 minutes into this show and we've not talked about anything.
Yeah, we talked about Matt Cardona.
All right.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, Matt Cardona should come back to WWE. What's the next topic? It'd be great if he did. I would like it. I liked him when he was in WWE. I always liked him in WWE.
Do it, host.
I'd be into it. You know what I mean?
But
you got Derek over here fucking shitting all over the idea of it. And you're like, I like his take. Yeah.
No, I didn't say I liked his take. I said I wanted to listen to it. It's different.
Yeah.
No, wait, now a Mickey Mouse?
Oh, yeah.
Am I Chinese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, Shitty Walk. Shitty Walk, I help you?
Oh, goddamn Mongolians.
Take down my shitty wall. You fuckers. Mongolians take down my shitty wall.
Oh, goddamn Mongolians.
Take down my shitty wall.
Jesus.
Oh, you want orange sheep pork? Huh? Are you one of them goddamn Mongolians?
Cost a lot of money.
Huh? You look like a Mongolian.
Cost at least $6,000.
In teeth? You have teeth?
In teeth? What are we? Now we're talking about Danhausen? What's going on?
I heard he got fired.
This is how it goes.
Who, Danhausen?
Yeah.
Did Danhausen get fired?
He says no.
No, I don't think Danhausen's fired. Danhausen sells like all the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Tony Khan gave him bags of money.
He is literally a t-shirt selling machine. Like, I mean, they don't let him wrestle, but
no,
I think he's hurt right now.
He's been hurt pretty much for 90%.
I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing that.
I agree. Derek, I actually agree. I'm tired of hearing that too. Like, so when they hired him, his leg was broken. So like that was fine. But
that was a miscommunication. He thought he was applying to an A&W. Yeah. It was a whole thing.
Jesus.
Okay. This was an accident.
That was funny.
I tried to flip burgers in fast food and now I'm stuck.
I still like it.
But that did bring up somebody that talked about, do you think that AEW TK needs to drop the hammer on a couple more people, get some of that roster bloat out of here, Tom?
Oh my God. Like, absolutely. Still, I mean, it's not even
Sonny
like
Kiss is gone.
I saw he left. He wrote Sonny Kiss left his.
I guess allegedly Angelico still has his job back. I mean, he was on Collision this week, fucking out of nowhere.
Yeah, I pointed that out last night. That was a mind blower for me.
I hadn't seen that motherfucker.
No. Look at him.
He's still on the roster.
I mean, I thought I saw him at Kmart last weekend, but apparently he was busy at Collision. I don't know.
He works at Kmart. I mean, look, man. You want to talk about dying industries? You talk about my man working at Kmart. Good God. But no, I it seems to me as though Tony Khan has sort of let his roster. He doesn't necessarily fire people as much as he just doesn't book them and then doesn't re-sign them.
Come on, man. Really?
Which I guess is probably the nice way to do it. He just pays them through their contract.
He's a coward.
Well, I mean, there's that too. But like, I mean, it could be worse. It could be, you're fired, bud. We're not paying you anymore because we put this sentence in your contract.
No, but instead, I'll just continue to pay you, offer you zero professional courtesy by communicating with you the status of your gainful employment with my company. because that's just so much better. That Oh, by the way, I hope you enjoyed that last paycheck because it was the last one, and we just decided that we're just gonna we're gonna keep on moving down the road here. So yeah, hey, you know what? I'm sure you land on your feet. It'd be great. It'd be great. If you need a job reference, let the Best Buy know. I'm your guy.
I'm your guy. I mean, nothing but good things to say about you, pal, but we're going in a different direction. And I feel like that's been kind of 90% of the OG AEW roster, if we're being fair. I mean, that being said, I can't say they let anybody go who I was like, oh no, not that person. No, I can't say that. I really can't.
Are you sure? Can I bring one up?
Please, go ahead. Because I think
I have. So I did see this before the show started, and I'm not sure if we spoke about this already or if it might be on the docket, but it looks like Malachi Black might be on his way out skis.
He's he's a champion right now. He's literally one of the trio champ.
Nope.
Oh no, you're right. They're not. No, that would actually be good for him. He could go back to WWE and actually.
No, it's unfortunate because now like no one has a gimmick. Buddy, Wheelhouse, that other guy that's big and bad, that's called Brody, and then the hot little young blonde. There's nothing.
The rest of the House of Black. They should just all go to WWE. Honestly, they could transpose that stable to WWE and it would be 100 times better. If I'm
seriously, where are they going to
go? To SmackDown, where the Judgment Day isn't.
Well, they are now.
Are they going to Judgment Day?
Because the boys are the tag team champions.
That's a good point.
So they'll be on all 3 shows moving forward.
That's true. They are on. They're really running the shit. Maybe we just add to the Judgment Day then. Put all. Well, not all of them. I don't think Brody King's got a job in WWE. I'm sorry. And as much as I like Brody King, I don't think he's got a job in WWE. I think
Murphy's been there. He doesn't want to go back.
The only one we're looking at. Well, I mean, he's got to go back to defend his property.
I mean, his wife's there. His fiance is there.
What's he gonna do? Go beat up Damien or Dominic, whatever his name is?
He's gonna beat up Dom, Dirty Dom.
I would love to see that feud. Actually, I think those would be really good matches. If I'm being fair,
for the love of my wife, I will.
For the love of Rhea. I mean, and it would be a huge swerve in the story.
Who's your mommy?
Yeah, it would be a huge swerve in the storyline, but who's your mommy would be great. Speaking of people that should go back to WWE, Swerve.
Dude, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
He's so good.
He's out there telling everybody the WWE made a mistake.
They did. Letting him go?
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and
what's he done? Yeah, what's he done? Right. What has he done up until last week? What has
you seen a fucking promo?
He's done everything he's been allowed.
Seen a promo?
What has he done up until last week?
Anything.
Walked around with a tattooed misfit and a fucking NXT cast off, trying to make them
music fire
big.
Because his entrance music is fucking fire. I love his entrance music.
Okay, great.
He comes in, beats up Nick Wayne.
But
we got that going on.
That's not all. That's not the whole deal, pal. Okay, so like.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you watching for?
What do you mean? What was I'm watching wrestling to be entertained.
What do you want?
I want to be entertained, and the entrance isn't the only fucking thing about being entertained.
No, it pretty much is.
That's involved. All I know is, bud. Okay, you fucking haven't been here in like 9 weeks, and then you want to try to come in here and you want to try to fucking go toe to toe with me about something that you don't have any fucking idea what you're talking about. Okay, you probably read. Yeah, you probably took your take from the dirt sheets. All right. Oh, well, this seems like a good idea to talk about. Let's talk about Swerve Strickland's promo with Adam Hangman Page. Okay.
Buddy, if I had the amount of money to pay for the Observer fucking WrestleCast, whatever it's called, I ain't got that kind of cash, and if I did, I wouldn't spend it on that bullshit.
Well, I mean, you're fucking sounding real Meltzer Markey right now.
Fuck you.
I mean, I'm just saying, pal. It's like you want to take that fucking AEW cock out of your mouth before you speak, or are you just gonna keep fucking cupping the balls?
I don't know that we're ready yet. I think it needs a little more cupping. I do.
Okay, because
maybe a little.
Listen, I don't give a fuck what either of you say. Swerve hadn't done shit until fucking Wednesday when he had a fucking decent promo with fucking Hangman. And now all of a sudden the internet's oh my God, Swerve Strickland's so fucking good. Oh, it's so good.
I always thought he was good.
I wish I could sit around and watch.
I thought he was good too whenever he was in WWE. And yeah, he definitely had a fucking fun little run with fucking Keith Lee, who fucking got misused, abused, and fucking swept under the carpet just like everybody else.
Well, okay, that's how AEW works, man.
Okay, well then, let's not fucking circle back and let's act like Swerve Strickland's fucking the savior of modern day professional wrestling. Okay, because if I fucking rewind, I'm sure that there's plenty of things that I'm saying right now that you agreed with the last time we talked about.
Oh, there was that guy that had the tattoos all over his face that was in his mogul embassy that we never saw again.
Oh, that was me.
It was probably Derek. With a bag on his head. Actually, Derek with a bag on his head was probably a better wrestler than that.
That was Dirty Derek. Yeah, that's
that dude's hand was bigger than Derek's entire fucking body.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that
he's just a little guy.
That doesn't mean that dude is like that. That guy made one television appearance and everybody went, "What the fuck?" And
I doubt I would fight that.
We never saw him again. We never saw him again.
Oh, and then Parker Boudreaux. I mean, that
man, you were talking about a guy who was like, "Oh, they didn't recognize my potential," and then he went to AEW, and AEW went, "What fucking potential? Good God!" This guy.
Tell him I can't be mad at you for that one.
This guy has no fucking future, and then that guy was gone like, man, I have never seen somebody come in and go out that fast ever. They at least tried in NXT. They were like, they walked him out there and let him go and like just look stupid for like 5-ish minutes, and that was, they were like, all right, you're done, pal, fuck off.
Hey man, they had a good thing going with the Harlan character with Joe Gacy. I mean,
he couldn't wrestle. That was the problem.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Buddy, I love me some Gacy, but he's been established with some real shit supporting characters.
Look, the character work they had great, right? They definitely had the character work. The problem was they couldn't teach him how to wrestle.
It's because like nobody wanted to teach me like the right way to do things, man. And like, you know, I've got all of this fucking just want to, and like I'm gonna be the big star one day, man. And like I just didn't see it, man.
Not only did they not see it, he didn't show it. Because not only did they work with him every day, because that's what you do when you're in the WWE Performance Center, but like they put him on TV and they were like, go. Show us. You keep telling us, go. And then like he did stuff and it looked terrible. And he would do it and he would be like, wow. And it would be like, that was the worst.
I thought he killed a guy with a clothesline once.
He might have. I thought he snapped a neck with a choke slam, but he came back and it was fine. I don't know, man.
But listen, I hope that it works out for Swerve. Okay, but
fourth time's a charm. Fourth time's a charm.
Yeah, this is the fourth push, so we'll see what happens. But I'm not gonna sit here and you're not gonna gargle on his bits and nuggets there, pal. Okay, it's just not gonna fucking happen. It's not gonna happen. Hey, so I got a question for you guys.
I got an answer.
I'm sure that you do.
I got 2 answers. It's many. Go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. I got a text message kind of fucked me up. Has anybody else noticed And like, Collision's not real good anymore since Phil got fired.
I mean, I noticed because last week the Bucks did a victory lap, and it was kind of a boring show. I mean, they had a pay-per-view the next day, so I kind of gave it a pass, but it was a boring show. And this week it had some trickles of what was good in weeks past, but then it was just like, hey, here's the bullshit that we've been putting on every other show. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's just keep doing what we're doing everywhere else, because that's been working out great for us in that whole not growing space. I feel like I called this last week or the week before. I can't remember. But I feel like I said it was going to be shit. And it's turning to it wasn't the worst show. I mean, it was the worst Collision. Where's he going? He's leaving?
What is he doing?
The way he walked away, it leads me to believe that he needs to poop.
Yeah, Derek definitely needs to take a deuce. What is he? What was he wearing? He looks homeless.
Jammies?
Looks homeless.
I mean, do homeless people wear jammies?
I don't know.
Is that how they become homeless?
Maybe.
Wearing jammies, and they're like, get out. People like, get out. And they're like, put them in my jammies. I don't know. Anyway, not important.
Collision, go ahead.
Collision. No, this week it was the tale of two shows. It was the tale of the show that started getting booked a couple of weeks ago, and we saw the fruition of some of those storylines. But it was also like, oh, hey, Phil's gone now, and we can do whatever we want on Collision too. So hey, it's the debut of Jon Moxley. He's gonna fight AR Fox. Does anybody give a shit about AR Fox? Do you care about AR Fox?
No.
Have you ever cared about AR Fox?
No.
Do you think he's got a future in professional wrestling?
No.
Do you think he could be a champion anywhere?
No.
Okay, so that's what happened this week, and now there's not good wrestling to watch on Saturday. So thanks, Tony, for your complete inept mismanagement. Yes, I realized Phil was a problem, but you knew that going into this, and you were like, I can totally manage around this. I'm a great manager. However, you're not. You're literally the worst manager wrestling has ever seen as far as backstage managing of wrestling is concerned. And you had to fire Phil. You had to fire him. You had no other choice, because you mismanaged everything so hard. And you literally just soft as puppy shit, as Walt would like to say. And now you've also ruined that Saturday show that you explicitly got because you got CM Punk back. You explicitly built around CM Punk, who you then had to fire. What are we? 5 shows? 6 Saturday shows in? Were we 6 weeks?
I think maybe. I think it's probably 8. It's probably more accurate.
Still, it's not. It's less than 10 weeks. So it's like, we'll give them 2 months, but it's certainly not. We've not dipped into month 3 for sure. We'll give them 2 months. We've certainly not dipped a toe into month 3, and you've lost the guy that let you sign the show and get the time. So it's really hard to have any faith in a product that can't keep a marquee guy. As difficult of, like, I understand the difficulty behind CM Punk as said marquee guy, but he was literally the only guy that was pushing numbers for this company. And, they called in Jon Moxley, as they generally do. Because,
hey man, you know what? I'll wait. Just keep on keeping on.
I'm just saying, they called in Jon Moxley, as they generally do, and some of their undercard guys who they're like, you're not going to be a star, but you're also not going to pull your ween around on stage. So just you go and you wrestle, and we'll see what happens. And Jon Moxley won without bleeding on a Saturday. Great. I don't know, man. I'm finding it really difficult to want to watch AEW. Am I wrong? in that. I'm finding it really difficult to want to, because like what like I could follow up on the MJF Adam Cole stuff, and because they post all that online, but that's like literally the only thing that's going on that's of any interest to me. And I just don't understand why they can't get any of the other. Like,
so
all the talent.
Let me just stop you. Let's
please stop.
Gears, okay, let's change lanes. Let's pass this car. Based on what you're saying here, right? I read a take. It was an opinion piece today, actually, about so many fickle wrestling fans. Yes, fickle. Daniel Bryan, fickle wrestling fans wanting AEW to be WWE light, with all of these advanced storylines and, you know, the more of the entertainment factor as opposed to the art of pro wrestling, and that, you know, it's a different product and it's supposed to feel different, it's supposed to look different, it's supposed to have a different approach, but everybody just wants to keep comparing it to what the WWE is and saying that AEW will never be as good as WWE because it doesn't do these things that WWE does. And I believe some of that to be true, right? And they've told us since the onset that they were an alternative to the WWE. But yet, I feel like we're 4 years in and we still don't have an identity of what we are as All Elite Wrestling, right? And it's created this rift in the viewership, and the ratings are for certain suffering on all 5 hours of AEW television. Do we, as WWE fans, Tom, and I mean, Derek is an alternate wrestling universe fan. He enjoys what WWE does, but he prefers more blood and guts type stuff, you know, a little bit more hard pressed type matches, stiff working environments, things like that. But even Derek has come forward in recent months and said, they're kind of fucking this up here.
I feel like I should blade on this show for Derek. I feel
Jesus.
I feel like I should give myself a little crimson mask as we start and just let it go. Just be like, wear a white t-shirt, maybe the same white t-shirt, just stain it red every week, choke on my own blood. No, I think that AEW kind of started with their own identity because Tony Khan was like, it'll sound good to say this on the internet, and the internet ate it up. They really did. And, you know, is it kind of like Indie Wrestling Plus? Yeah, it kind of is, but it's not. It's not something that they can like continue to build an audience on. Like, they've got their audience, but they're not going to build from here. And like it's sort of starting to fall apart a little bit because the inmates also run the asylum. So there's no booking, despite Tony Khan getting Booker of the Year basically every year since AEW started. There's no booking. There's no storylines. It's not really a good product. I mean, I don't know what. It's not so much that there's an identity, because even like when WWE sucks, it has an identity. It just sucks. Like AEW just sucks, whether it has an identity or not. Like, there are some things going on in AEW because like the wrestlers have so much creative freedom that, you know, there are some wrestlers that can manifest gold. And, you know, we see that with MJF and Adam Cole. And, you know, we see that with Samoa Joe. We see that with a few guys who can actually book themselves and like scare Tony enough to let them do whatever they want. But that being said, it's been not great all the time. And, you know, you had Punk try to come in and take over. He obviously had resistance, and through said resistance got fired because people got in his face, and CM Punk did what CM Punk does.
April, please take that production monitor and aggressively place it in Anthony's lap, please.
Exactly.
So, Anthony, I giveth thee a workplace of toxic unsafetytude for you
I love it.
to be the managerial figure of.
I mean,
furthermore,
there you go.
Don't allow thy bucks of young to ruin all that I have built.
Well, they did. And they took a victory lap last week, and this week the show was half garbage. Next week, I expect it to be a little bit extra garbage. And, at some point, Samoa Joe will get hired back to WWE. He'll probably be a producer or something. They'll let him come out every great now and then. And slowly but surely, all of the good talent will trickle out, including Christian, who is clearly on a good run right now, asking everybody how their fathers are. But that being said, it's not gonna he's gonna get sick of that. That's gonna run its course. And Luchasaurus is not actually good at wrestling, and he's not a good TNT champion, and so that's going to go by the wayside.
He's not the TNT champion. Christian's the TNT champion.
Sure. Okay.
How dare you disrespect the goddamn good name of Christian Cage in the TNT championship?
Right.
Anyway. How dare you parade a championship around that you didn't even win?
You're right. How right could you be, Walt? Oh my God, you're so right. Anyway.
And you know what? I challenge anybody to show up here with a dinosaur of their own.
Why, Jesus? Why?
What the fuck? Okay. So what you're saying is...
I think it's ridiculous, sir, that you are disrespecting AEW right now in all of its young Bucky glory. Derek, look at Derek. Look how excited Derek is about AEW over there.
It's just a shit festival. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to convince you otherwise.
Derek, how's your father?
Here's the hands. Sorry, guys.
Anyway, no, I mean it's hard to watch, and I know, Walt, you're being about all of this. It's really man, how do we keep getting back in this situation with AEW where it's it's gonna be okay? Oh, it's gonna be okay. Oh man, look what's going on, and they had me hyped and excited. I bought a goddamn. I'm not wearing it, but I bought a goddamn T-shirt.
You did buy a T-shirt.
Here we are.
I maxed out a credit card whenever we went.
Listen, that's stunning.
Not a single one of us will not come clean with the fact that every AEW live event we've gone to has been fucking phenomenal.
We had a great...
Absolutely.
How much of it, though, was the company we keep?
There's something about being in that building for that
it's
show.
It's us. What kind of company? I mean, I'm nice to my neighbors.
I mean, we like each other, though. We're friends. We have a good time together.
Of
course.
I'm saying. Why you gotta
gotta
make it so negative?
We come, I like y'all, and it's nice to hang out with yins. There we go. I did the yins and the y'all.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to comment on that. I was very proud of your usage of both descriptors.
Yeah,
from both sides of the state line.
Exactly. From everywhere that I've called home. That being said, it's a rough time to even consider being an AEW fan at this point. It really is, which is tough because they've actually got a couple of good storylines going on. But that being said, everything around those is dog shit. It really is, and nothing's getting off the ground. I don't know. They're clearly not building new stars because everything that they got off the ground was like based off of stars who were WWE stars beforehand. Except for MJF, but like he's with Adam Cole now. It's really hard to like. I don't know. I don't think the magic's there. They're just TNA with more money.
Wow.
Walt, this would be a fantastic segue to talk about what I wanted to talk about in TNA, which is, or I'm sorry, Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, pal. Tell me all about Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace has signed a new Impact Wrestling contract. Now, that being said,
thank you, Bearcat.
Can you mute him? Because I feel like that's probably better for him.
You want to come talk to everybody?
There we go. Good job. So Jordan Grace has sort of been the Jordan Grace has been the diamond in the rough for Impact Wrestling. Not really the diamond in the rough. She's been the diamond that they've put forward. Because they don't have others. I mean, they have Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo, however, is not going to re-sign, allegedly, as per some stuff today. And it's where Jordan Grace has re-signed, and she has been very vocal about that, wanting to be the face of the Impact's division. Truth be told, I really think she is the ace of the Impact's division. She's the most popular wrestler they have on their roster, and she's put on the better matches, the marquee matches, the matches that people want to see. Have really all been mostly her and Deonna Purrazzo. They were her and Taya Valkyrie. Well, Taya Valkyrie was still in there too, but that's since moved on. Jordan.
Well, yeah, Taya Valkyrie's been sniffing AEW's butthole for the last couple of months.
Right. But prior to that, I mean, she did some good work with Taya Valkyrie. So she is re-signed and will continue to be the stalwart of the Impact's division as we still. Now, I wanted to talk about Jordan Grace because I don't think this was the best move for her. I was hoping that she would have signed an NXT deal, truthfully, because she's still very young. She's like 25 now, I think.
Hey, bud, she didn't want to give up that OnlyFans money.
True, and she's probably raking it in there, and I'm not saying that she's not. She's probably raking it in. That being said, man, if she wanted to reach the next level in wrestling, she really, really would have done something in NXT. I mean, they really have a great women's roster now, and just adding her to that really would have been.
Yeah, that Becky Lynch is about to be the champion of.
And she could have debuted and stared down Becky Lynch. Like there could have been, there's so much potential. But you're right, and but still, there was so much potential there. I don't disagree. I mean, I think that she'll have potential in what she signed a 2-year deal. In 2 years, obviously, I mean, she'll still be 27, so she'll still have the ability to like say, "Oh, hey, WWE, I'm already a multi-time champion. Put me on NXT for a year." Okay, so she's on NXT from 27 to 28, and then gets called up to the main roster. Not a huge deal. I get it. It's fine. That being said, really would have liked to see it happen this time around, this contract cycle. And the fact that it didn't is kind of disappointing to me because she's still just going to be kind of like in what is the like very distant third promotion.
Yeah, pal, maybe she's comfortable being a big fish in a small pond.
And I think that's part of it. And, good for her. I hope they offered her a lot of money, and I'm sure she'll be fine. That being said, I'm being selfish here, I think. And I think it's okay to say that. I would have preferred to see her in a very major promotion, doing very major promotion things. That being said, she's not. That's our loss as the fans, but if she's happy, good for her. That's all I wanted to say. That's it.
Hey, pal. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about what she wants, man. She's the one that's got to live that life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right. You're right. I'm just saying, as a fan.
No, I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying, bud. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Like, she's absolutely a top tier talent who could go to NXT right now and make a difference and be on the main roster in 8 months. You know, but I was listening to Beyond the Bell or whatever the hell it is, the Corey Graves podcast, and Grayson Waller was on there, and he was talking about the NIL program and how he wasn't a fan of it at first, but now he understands why that everything is the way that it is with NXT and the NIL program. You look at somebody like Tiffany Stratton, who's only been in the business for like 10 months, and she's the NXT Women's Champion, and she's making a lot of waves. She's getting ready to have a match with Becky Lynch. So, like, they're taking these raw athletes out of college, and they're teaching them the skill set, and they're saying, hey, go be charismatic in front of the camera and get yourself over.
Tiffany Stratton's The Prettiest Moonsault is one of the best things I've seen in wrestling. The way she just goes boink, 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 whoop, just sort of to time. It's like you can like count it out. It's
effortless, pal.
It's stunning. It's unbelievable. It's stunning.
There's no way she beats Becky Lynch, right? Like, that's not.
I don't feel like you can. It just doesn't seem possible.
So is this how they're going to get her to the main roster on a quick rocket ship? Send Becky down, have Becky beat her, and then her just go right to the main roster?
I feel like they have to. Like she's already like she can't do more in NXT. She can only draw eyeballs to the main roster.
I agree.
Especially if they're thinking about bringing back Mandy.
I haven't heard any rumors about that recently.
But those seeds have been planted, and like I feel like it's one of those things where it was big news, but it was like everybody's been quietly. Even Mandy's kind of been quietly. You know? Yeah,
her booty hasn't come across my phone screen in at least 2
weeks. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's you know, I think that it's possible there that they're just letting everything die down a little bit, and then it'll be like, oh my God, it's Mandy Rose. There you go. Explosion.
That's good shit, pal.
Good shit, pal.
Hey, you know what? And here's the thing. Who knows? Because after today, right? Do you know what's on television right now, boys?
Raw, because I'm watching
the last episode of WWE television.
There it is.
That Vince McMahon owns.
It's not gonna matter though.
I mean, he's still gonna kind of own it. Just maybe even a little
he's
more
not
powerful.
Gonna be the majority guy.
No, you're right. You're right.
So, do we just stay on the trajectory we're on, or do you think Endeavor? You think Ari Emanuel, the TKO group, immediately get involved and start changing this product around?
I don't think they changed it at all. I think that it's been on an upward trajectory. I don't think they want to touch that.
What about the business model? Do you think they go to monthly pay-per-views as opposed to the current business model with live streaming? And
no, because
we've talked about all of this before, but
no, because I think Peacock has paid them so much money. I think that they lose money if they go back. I don't think they go. I don't think we go back. I don't think there's a back to go. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any way back. I really don't. I think that we're here. I think it's going to be business as usual. I think that this group is going to continue seeing that, and I think they're going to try to sell I think for more money, but I think they're going to try to sell a similar thing for UFC. because it works for WWE. I think they're going to try to sell for, streaming, whether it's Peacock or whatever else. I think they're going to sell UFC, big UFC fights on streaming services, probably to the highest bidder, because
they kind of already are with ESPN Plus.
Right, with that, but I think we're going to see another one in addition, if I'm being fair, if I'm being honest.
Derek, what about you, dude? Do you think tomorrow they're just going fucking about face and the whole organization's going to change?
No. Actually, I ran across this earlier today, an article about tomorrow is the big day, or this evening is the big day, however you want to look at it, and while it's exciting in my mind, and I would love to see some change. Nothing's going to happen. This multi-million/billion-dollar company, they purchased this platform, let's say, on the thought that Vince McMahon has been running it since the 80s. He knows what he's doing. They're not going to just come in and say, okay, thanks, Vince. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye. No, it's going to be a slower, much more gradual progression. Do I think that we're going to see this in the long term? Absolutely. He's going to be gone.
Yeah, because he's going to
in
die.
More than one way. Let's just say that. He'll be gone in more than one way. But I don't think we see Vince gone until Vince dies. Vince will always be there. Will always be a portion of it, no matter whom from the family is involved. And I actually also saw another section that we haven't talked about. If this is in here in the show notes, I'm sorry. That Vince or Triple H previously and recently has said, if Shane comes back, then fuck this, I'm out.
No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said that he would happily step aside. Okay. Now that could go. That's a definite play on words. That could be a genuine feeling of, hey, family company, blah 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 blah, or it could be, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. I think it could go either way.
So I saw that too. But you know what? I think that right now you've got to ride the wave of momentum. There's no need to make any changes, in my opinion.
I feel you.
As a fan, I think that WWE is definitely clicking on all cylinders, and everything is in the thumbs up position in the WWE universe right now. With the exception of some travel issues this week, where one, Matt Riddle accused an airport employee of sexually assaulting him at a security checkpoint. Now, for those of you that don't know, WWE was in India this weekend. Grueling travel schedule to try to get some of those performers back to the States before Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley obviously missed SmackDown because she was in India. So I'm sure that was a very, very long travel period for these folks. And by all accounts, Matt Riddle was a little fucked up. And Tom, I'm interested. Like, what do you think?
What do I think? All right, I'm going to be good. What do I think? Do I think that Matt Riddle was unjustly assaulted by some TSA agent? Absolutely. 100%. I think that happened. I think that there was an unscrupulous altercation with Mr. Matthew Riddle and a TSA agent internationally. I wholly believe that. Do I believe that Matt Riddle was not under the influence of something when that happened? No, certainly. I certainly do not. Does that make anything better? No. I think that's look, whether I'm taking Matt Riddle's side on this actually, and I think that is this TSA agent is anything gonna actually happen from this? No, I think if anything, we're only gonna see like Matt Riddle get sort of taken away. I think we'll see some internet chatter about it. Look, man, I just can't. I don't know. It's fucking gross, right? Like the state of international travel, the state of travel, period. It's fucking gross, right? Like it's disgusting. It's really hard to like want to go anywhere, be anywhere. It sucks. Like when I do it, I'm like, oh, who's gonna touch me inappropriately? Okay, here it is. You want to see it? Like, I mean, it's really like. It's frustrating. It's a really frustrating time. It's a frustrating thing. Do I think Matt's probably kind of scarred about it? Yeah, maybe. He's not going to be at Raw tonight.
Oh, poor baby.
Thank God.
I might think that, but at the same time, like, man, I don't know. I just.
Hey, Paul, all I'm saying is, I'm not going to sit here, and I'm not going to try to defend this dude that has a history of substance abuse problems.
Sure.
Who is clearly out here just fucking straight wilding out. Like he's got a different porn star in his back pocket every fucking Saturday, bro. Okay.
Does that mean that you can like finger a dude's butthole like on your way back from India? Like it's
all I'm saying is if a JFK employee tells me that Matt Riddle's fucked up and that he was just trying to do a routine search.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's such a like. As somebody who feels like they've been sober, disrespected by TSA employees before, it's just it's hard to like. I'm not saying anybody touched me inappropriately. It's just like. Why? Like, why are we singling me out? Like, I'm not interesting. It's just it's a hard hard thing to sell to me at this point, and I'm not a fan of it.
Listen, pal, we all know that when we want to get on the big metal bird in the sky, that somebody's got to finger our bum. Okay, like it's part of it now. All right, and that's because we lost the war on terror, like you said at the beginning of the episode.
We lost.
Okay,
this is just.
Do you think that man wants to be fingering bums all day? Is that what you think? You think that poor soul wants to just be?
Yeah, no, I think he loves it, and he goes,
"Yes, unbelievable,
yes,
unbelievable."
Look, man, if you met feet,
you think his smelled like weed?
Absolutely.
Weed mushrooms. 100%.
All right. Good.
100%.
Just making sure.
That's all it smelled like.
All right.
Do I believe that this guy sexually assaulted Matt Riddle? I don't know. Do I believe that Matt Riddle was on a different fucking planet coming off of that plane? Yeah, I do believe that. And I do believe that maybe in Matt Riddle's mind, he believes that whatever planet he was on, somebody touched him in his no-no spot. And you know what? Good for him. I'm glad that he is steadfast in his conviction that somebody touched him in his booty hole. Okay? But you know what? It's hard to tell because Matt Riddle was probably on planet fucking 62 in the fucking nebula fucking in the nebula galaxy.
I mean, he was definitely
Men in Black, inside the Men in Black marble with the aliens playing fucking games. Okay.
I mean, he was. Let's be fair.
So I mean, a lot of details can get misconstrued when you're on Planet 67. Okay.
So, what's the harm in giving it a week and just letting everybody chill out?
No harm.
Hopefully.
Allegedly.
Doubtful.
Derek, listen, we know Matt Riddle's your boy. Like, he is your absolute favorite fucking wrestler.
Yes.
Like, what do you think about Matt Riddle getting touched in his no-no spot?
Buddy, he's a fucking poser. He's a fucking idiot, and I'm more than happy. I would almost say glad to see that someone finally, yet again, I don't know how many times we need to go through this, but yet again is calling him out on his stupidness. The guy is a complete waste on the roster, and it's obvious that he's a complete waste in life in general.
Bro.
What? Yeah. Flip my kick-ups. I flip my flip-flops. Get out of here, man. I'm good. I actually know a guy locally that, he stayed at my house. He was super cool. Well, good for him. Hopefully he didn't touch any of your family on the way through, because the dude seems to come across as somewhat of a mentally unstable predator. This is not the first time he's been accused of such things, or has tried to make a scene and accuse someone else of such things to redeem himself from what might be going on in his special little mushroom world. I know at least most of us can confirm that, we've indulged and had a good time in college, but you're almost fucking 40. It's time to settle. I'm not sure what exactly you're doing. What is this face? I'm not sure what exactly Matt Riddle was trying to do here, but bro, no. Stop.
Careful with that.
I'm not talking about funky butt loving. No. Is that what the face is about? I'm not talking about funky butt lovings.
Careful with the almost 40 there, broski.
I'm almost 40. I'm 37.
Shit. Oh my god, 37.
I'm sorry. Should you go to the airport on mushrooms and jacked up on Mountain Dew weed at 40? I don't know. I've never been to an airport. Maybe that's how they do things. Is this how things are done? I don't know. Wow. I've apparently touched a nerve.
I want to nail you to the wall right now, bud. I'm just not going to do it.
All right,
I'm just not. Look, I'm just not. No, I'm just.
I'm going to take off my watch so it doesn't get ruined in the process.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a free pass, pal.
Thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get. You're welcome.
You're a good man.
You're welcome. Well, gentlemen, it seems to me that only time is going to tell what Matt Riddle has to say and or do with the funky butt loving scandal. #gate. Can we call it funky butt loving gate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what movie that actually came from?
Rookie of the Year.
Funky butt loving?
Yeah, funky butt loving.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Great movie. Chet Steadman.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. No, I'm just kidding. That's okay. So you said Chet Steadman. That was Gary Busey. Gary Busey last week was on a podcast where they wanted to ask him about like financials or something, like the financial industry or something, and he was like, "Let's talk about buttered sausage."
That sounds very Gary Busey-esque.
It was absolutely. He's like, "What it is, but I don't like it. Get it out of my face." And he was. They were like, "So, I get that you don't dig it. No. You don't buy. You're not into it. No, I'm into honey. I buy honey and I kiss it on the lips." That's exactly.
What are you listening to in your free time, pal?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I watch this.
Apparently crazy shit. But no, that happened. Anyway. Oh wait, is it my turn? Wait, no, we're gonna hit the button. You gotta hit the button. All right, my match of the week. It was Gunther versus Chad Gable last Monday.
Fantastic match.
Oh my god! What else? I didn't know was going to happen. At the end, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
They made you believe that they were going to put the fucking belt on Chad Gable.
They really did. Despite it being that close to Gunther being the longest reigning of all time.
Which he has now surpassed. He's a honky honk man.
He's a honky honk. Yeah. Way surpassed. Honky Tonk Man's been kind of quiet, actually. If we're being honky serious here.
You know what I enjoyed about Monday Night Raw and that whole build up to the Gunther Chad Gable thing? They talked about all the great Intercontinental champions. They mentioned Honky Tonk's name one time and never showed his picture.
Yeah, never. No, yeah. They
Not
were
one
like,
time, never.
No. Honky Tonk Man.
They showed the goddamn Texas Tornado.
The Texas yeah.
Who was like a Intercontinental champion for like 36 minutes.
It wasn't even a whole show, was it?
Nah, he had it for a couple of months. He went pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Okay.
So at that time, what was that, 3-4 months? So
Texas Tornado was a NWA champion at the point in time where that still was relevant.
Kerry Von Erich, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom, your match absolutely was a phenomenal
it was incredible. The ending particularly incredible. I watched everything else. Nothing caught my eye. So, boys, good luck.
Derek?
I'm gonna go with something a little older, just because I've been a little lax on watching my stuff and things here. So mine's gonna be actually from All In. We're gonna go with MJF and Adam Cole, baby. Obviously, by this point, everybody has watched it. Should have watched it. If you haven't watched it, watch.
Hey, bud, that was your match of the week last week.
Well, I wasn't even here last week, so
it was my match of the week, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's doubling up, but like.
My apologies. I did listen to the show, but last week was my anniversary, and I left it to the A team last week because you guys are the ones and I'm the twos.
Derek Ducey.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you. That's too smooth. Fuck you. Anyways, I'm sure Tom has sung it from the high heavens and made it fantastic. I'm not going to give him too much of a shit show here, but yes, proceed, fellas.
So my match of the week, despite coming on a show that I heavily criticized today on this very, very broadcast, when I realized that AEW had gone off the rails on Saturday night, whenever there were so many cold booked matches on Collision and there had not been any of that ever, not one time ever until Saturday. Now I get there in the middle of a tournament for, a number one contender thing. You're going to get some cold matches, but there was a lot of cold matches. And one of those cold matches was actually my match of the week because it was a cold match that actually kind of spoke, kind of made me feel some sort of way, and that was Jon Moxley versus Action Andretti. While it wasn't the beautiful, crisp, clean piece of business that Chad Gable versus Gunther was, I think that match very much had a place on AEW television this week. In fact, that, I come in here and I jokingly put Orange Cassidy over every week about what a great champion he was, but that's because he was a great champion. He defended the fucking international championship 347 times in like 22 days. And I like that AEW is actually trying to add some merit to that championship and making that a true workers championship, much like the Intercontinental Championship used to be and is once again. I really enjoyed that piece of it. And the fact that Moxley was the one that they chose to beat Orange Cassidy coming off of that dominant title reign, and then to put him out there and have him wrestle in an open challenge, cold match type thing against Action Andretti, somebody that they're trying to build up, somebody that got the Chris Jericho rub, and has done all of these things. And listen, you can sit here and you can discredit everything that I'm trying to say, but the Chris Jericho rub does exist in the AEW sphere amongst their fans and their organization. That's a real thing. For him to go out there and have a pretty high work rate match with Jon Moxley, where they're, Tom, like you said, no blood, really kind of laid credence to the fact that they're trying to make that belt the Workers' Championship. And I think Jon Moxley's absolutely the right guy to continue to prop that up. And I hope we see more and more of these, technical type wrestling matches out of Moxley throughout the body of his title reign with the International Championship. So for all of that, that was my match of the week. And not too shabby, if I must say so myself.
I didn't hate it.
So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. I had to I have a piece of business that I'm supposed to attend to.
Yes, you do.
And we'll see how that plays in my favor. Probably not too well. But anywho, check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_FallW. That's ONE. If you're here hanging out with us, hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate you. If you're here hanging out with us, whenever, wherever, we appreciate you. And with all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. Derek Ducey.